So revenge is always a good theme, right?
Yes, it's always a good thing, but forgiveness is a better one.
That's true, and that's something that I looked for in this movie. It always came in an unexpected moment. But what I liked about your character being the villain is that it was the villain who almost seemed victimized throughout the whole movie, not knowing what's going on, trying to figure out what's happening to him. Like, did you enjoy that
Yeah, well,
uneasiness?
but you know when you've done something wrong, like earlier on in my first marriage when I was an idiot and I cheated on my wife, you still expect, you want good things to come, but you know that you have to pay for what you've done. You know that something bad is coming, so you're always looking at everything, sideways. Alphonse knew because he had committed a grave sin earlier on that he had to pay for it. And as hard as he would try to achieve, he knew that it had been derailed by a cowardice act early on. And therefore, that's torturous to this human spirit. The expectation of good, but knowing that you have to pay for the bad you've done. That made him so interesting to play because we've all been in that place. And until you do the right thing all the time at the greatest cost of your own personal comfort, then until that moment, you're always in expectation of the recompense of your actions.
Man, you see, this is why this interview, especially with you, and I can't wait for Colin, is cathartic for me. As a guy who is now growing up, I'm in my 30s now, I'm starting to realize what you're trying to say. And I realized it in this movie. And I see that you and Colin, two guys who march to the beat of their own drum, who've made mistakes, who've made their own decisions, I saw through your performances that you guys look like you're in a place in your life where you're kind of personally stable, personally grown up, but you seem to have strength built on pain of maybe regrets or things that you've done in the past, and I saw that in this
We're
movie.
going to let this interview go a little bit longer. With Colin, when my second wife first came out and with the allegations of physical abuse and all that stuff, the day after that, I had to give an award, or I was doing a presentation for children with autism. Now, I hadn't seen Colin for 10 years. Now, Colin knew what had just came out, and the fear of being pushed away and everyone looking at you sideways. When I walked on stage, Colin was sitting in the front row, and he saw my back straight, and he did like this. Despite what had happened, whether I was in the right or in the wrong, and I was in the wrong. I should have never had a fight with my wife. I should never, I don't care how angry you get, but sometimes you can lose it, and I needed to go through some therapy with that. But Colin, what he did, he gave me that thumbs up, that even though people may have been looking at me sideways, he reminded me to stand straight and stand firm. And then 3 weeks later, I was offered this film to come and work with him. Now that I appreciated more than anything. And as a result of that, now me and my wife, we went through therapy and we've rekindled, and I have my wife back. I have my life back. But you gain a lot because Colin had went through those same things. And it's not seeking revenge on the industry. It's actually taking the discipline and allowing the discipline to break the shell of this impersonation of who you think you are. As a young man of 30 or in your early 30s, this is when you're going to build who your nature is. And for the audience out there, your nature is really the good guy and the person you wanted as a child. You let go of all of the mistakes and you keep growing towards your purpose. We will one day, the entire universe has one mind. Work in cohesion with it. Because when you become big to yourself, you really become small because the entire universe is in opposition to you. But when you become small and become part of that convergence, you actually become large because now you have the force of the universe working with you.
Man, so you must look back at, like, in your younger days, when you first hit that going up in your careers, like, you thought you knew it all.
Yeah, you
You
do.
thought you knew it all. And you thought you didn't necessarily have to pay for all your mistakes as long as you were sorry for them and had the best intentions, but it's not that easy.
No, sorry means I forgot to care. That's what sorry means. I forgot to care. When you truly are apologetic, you are actually caring more for the other person. You are empathetic to what they need, and you never have to say sorry again because they know even if you made a mistake, your intentions were for their good.
So So I think a lot of people should go see this movie, and I like how minimal the background is there. People should go see this movie just to look in your eyes and in Colin's eyes. Because in your performances, I see that. I see where you guys are personally. You don't have to come and ask some intrusive personal question about what's really going on in your personal life. You can see it in your eyes, you know, that you guys have gotten to that place. So what are you going to do from here on out now that you have this strength and this maturity?
I'm just going to follow the river that's flowing, follow the course of it. They say only dead fish swim with the current. Wrong. Wise fish swim with the current.
You're wise, man. Thank you very much, man. Very much, man.
Enjoy,
I appreciate
man.
it.
I do too.